Hello, friends, and I hope you're nice and comfortable in the area you're in because you're about to get a treat of a review on area, how we formulate that equation, and then I've got a really groovy challenge for you today. Let's start with that rectangle. Remember, we talk about this rectangle and how we want to measure the area it takes up, the whole area, not just the length, not just the height. That would be easy enough to figure out, but we really want to know how much space the whole thing takes up. Now, we could extend these lines and have these, well, yeah, it could be 10 columns across. That's great. That makes almost no sense. Or we could even do rows, 5 rows up. That also doesn't sound good. But if we extend both of them, we end up with a nice network or grid of squares, or what we call square units. Now this is a rectangle, and I know you've already had this lesson and you're able to count up these numbers, but let's go in a little bit more depth and really look at the labels for these as well. We have the base and the height, two very important parts of the rectangle, and also the perimeter being the distance around the rectangle. But the base and the height are probably those two numbers you could use to come up with the number of square units you see here without having to count 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 times 10 is 50. Easy enough, but let's talk about that in a way that looks more like an equation. We are multiplying our base and our height, so we can definitely say that area is equal to our base times height. But this is a long equation, and I might even have trouble fitting in this space here, so I can shorten that easily. We can substitute A for area. We can substitute B for base, and we can substitute H for height. Did you see how that height just didn't want to leave? Area equals base times height. That's the area of a rectangle. Now, I bet there's some really big rectangles in your house. I'd like you to go and try to find 6 different large objects in your house in the shape of a rectangle and try to find the area of those shapes. Make sure you write down the name of what those shapes are. I can't wait to see these gigantic rectangle areas.